Ah, there you are. I am ready to ascend to the bridge and speak with Admiral Bluffswin. While the Admiral and I are finalizing permissory boundaries and signing parchments, I would have you begin the recruitment process in earnest. I have, of course, endeavored to spread the word of our organization through various channels, but I believe a personal approach will reach many who may otherwise remain ignorant of the opportunity. As for potential members, 'tis no matter should they already be pledged to another institution, only that they are willing to lend their strength when the situation demands it. And you needn't range into the countryside. The upper decks alone are populated with sufficient candidates to suit our purpose. Once you are satisfied with your recruiting efforts, meet me at the airship ticket counter and we might prepare for the next leg of our journey. Solitary Dolphin, good morning. How are you doing? Hey, who in the bloody hells do you think you're talking to, Drylander? I'm a pirate, not some sodden knight in shining plate. If you're looking for a self-righteous fop, try knocking over that dandy Carvelin's door. A precursor to United Eorzea Grand Company. While I do admire the scope of your ambition, my responsibilities here at Naldic and Vimelius keep me close to the forge. I have not the time to be traipsing hither and yon across the realm. Did you require my skills as an armorer, however, I might be willing to accept some special commissions. Okay, so maybe they're the guildmaster for the armorer. Well, if it ain't Faedwin, I'd not forget a venturer brave enough or daft enough to seek the shortcut into Titan's bedchamber. You remember old Reel, don't you? Formerly of the Company of Heroes? 3 whistles at Bronze Lake? Aye, it ain't often I drag my arse out of Limsa for a drink, but I'm right glad I did. How fare you these days? Looking to put together a new crew. Top tier work? Ha! Sounds like a right lark, it does. Alright, lass, count me in. Heroes may have gone their separate ways, but I ain't ready to climb to my grave just yet. An organization with the freedom to operate with territorial impunity. I must say, your proposal intrigues me. But the Krakens well know that there is a time to act and a time to watch. I'm afraid this trial company of yours falls into the latter category. Alright, so we still got one. Master Alpha knows a new organization. Yes, I heard about the formation of his trial company was in the offing. It is with regret, however, that I must decline your invitation. Commander of the Yellow Jackets, the protection of Limsa must needs receive my full attention. Faedwin, your recruiting went well, I trust. I'm curious as to how my proposal was received by the rough and ready folk of Limsa. Ah, memory of the legendary company of heroes indicated his interest. Astonishing. I knew enlisting your aid was the right choice. Few could boast of the acquaintance of such an elusive character. I, too, was successful in my task. The Admiral consented to sign all the documents required her approval. I can only hope that my visit to the Elder Seedseer proceeds as smoothly. Pray continue on to Gridania at your own pace. I shall wait your arrival at Nufka's altar. Are you telling me I could have just this could have been an email. Oh gods, can it truly be you? By what fickle fortune must the first face I see upon my release be yours? It could be that you don't remember me. It is I, Laurentius, the man whose crimes you exposed. I was a whaler and a regular patron of Biscarans. Of course you remember. I was beginning to wonder if jail had changed me more than I realized. Not that I have any particular wish to be recognized after my shameful conduct. The less said of my past, the better, I suppose. What of you, adventurer? What business brings you to this part of Gridania? Recruiting, eh? What is your policy on reformed convicts? As matters stand, the Wood Whalers will have naught more to do with me. This may be just the second chance I was looking for. Revenant's toll, you say? I shall leave at once. You should not regret this, I promise you. I am a changed man. Alright, so we're up to 2. Grandfather, you must call it a day. Let's return to the guild and rest ere your tormented back gives up on you for good. I'm terribly sorry, we were just... Oh, Faedwin, isn't it? It's been some time since our paths crossed outside of Copperbell Mines. Well, you're barely more than a novice adventurer then, but look how far you've come. Mother Mione tells me 'twas you who felled the fearsome Black Wolf. Now you seek stout-hearted souls to fill the ranks of a new order? But your cause is undoubtedly just, and my old companion here would be much relieved to see me in good hands. Yes, I'll do it. This is the very thing I've spent my entire adventuring career working towards. I shall join your company just as soon as I've seen Ilzadar safely home. What news, Faedwin? For my part, the Elder Seedseer was most amenable to our requirements. A former wood whaler and a seasoned adventurer? Our company will not lack for variety, that much is certain. An interesting harvest indeed. Shall we strike into Ul'dah whilst the iron is hot? Let us meet at the Royal Promenade and endeavor to conclude our remaining business. Our journey draws to a close. Ul'dah, the gilded city, where one's fortune defines one's worth. I hope some manner of fortune is with us, and that this final leg proves as successful as the previous 2. Might I suggest descending to the lower level before beginning your recruitment efforts? I do not think the Sultana will take kindly to us poaching from her personal guard. Let us meet back here at the promenade where respective tasks are complete. Good hunting, Faedwin. Wait, you're the lady who came to Little Alamico looking for that masked devil. Who knows what would have happened if you hadn't... Probably be dead, and a whole lot more of my friends besides. We were such fools. Any road, that disaster really got me to thinking about our homeland and about the outsiders who saved us from ourselves. I realized how easily I'd been manipulated and vowed to make myself a more worldly man. So here I am, new company of champions, and you say it will take me to all corners of the realm? That sounds exactly like the opportunity I need. And don't worry, I'm not the same stripling you met in Little Alamigo. I prepared myself to fight the evil I now know is out there. Oh yeah, we're at 4? 4. You'd be surprised what rumors drift down to Pearl Lane. I know this glorious new company of yours, and just how far I'd go to avoid getting involved in it. Whispers in the streets say your organization is funded by corrupt coin, by syndicate money. If you think you're recruiting for a just cause, then you're a bigger fool than I took you for. Dude, you're literally in an alley. Get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna take my HelloFresh and leave. Company that looks to cure the ills of the realm entire? Listen, friend, I can scarce bear the complaints of the stall next over, let alone the conundrums of a neighboring nation. Yeah, I don't know why we were like, let's go get a shopkeeper. Oh, what a happy coincidence. Do you remember me, perchance? I'm Orson of the Church of Saint Adama Lundama. Thank you again for your timely rescue. I must also thank you for preventing that fraudulent priest from preying on dry bones less fortunate. A most upsetting business. Are you here with your companion? Thankford, was it? Ah, 'tis new companions you seek, then. Your proposed organization sounds a powerful force for good, but my place is at the church with the children. Nevertheless, I wish you well in this undertaking. I'm sorry, you wish to recruit me. Is this some new-fashioned manner of propositioning a lady? Oh my goodness. I'm not. I'm just... no. Well, I'm afraid you're wasting your time. This lady's already spoken for. Continue, miss. Ma'am, I was just trying to... Okay. How fared you, Faedwin? What hidden gems did the streets of Ul'dah offer up to your unrelenting gaze? This is what, 1, 2, 1? We got 4? 1 in Limsa Lominsa and 1 in Ul'dah and 2 in Gridania, right? A single Alamican youth. Well, you've certainly given us an admirable start, even if our ranks are yet somewhat thin. In these troubled years following the calamity, talk of Eorzea's salvation must seem akin to grasping at clouds. But there are those who have risen to the challenge nonetheless, and the hope that inspires these people was born in no small part from the victories you yourself have won. Thank you, Faedwin. I will not squander the precious gift you have placed into my keeping. These recruits will become the foundation of a new beginning. Listen, so part of the reason we moved to Revenant's Toll as our base was because it's like a nexus point for adventurers passing through. Why do I have to go to the main towns to try to recruit people? If, like, our secondary purpose for relocating was, or maybe tertiary, to avoid raids. Yeah, what about all the adventurers there? We could literally put up posters. Alright, whatever. Alphino, sure. And yes, we are free to begin. As you have no doubt surmised, the Sultana also graced my trial company with her blessings. Our first wave of recruitment is over, the documents signed, and the finances secure. There's naught to prevent me from taking the next step. Yo, I need Alphino's help with this closing. You were concerned by the syndicate's involvement. As was I. Thus was the origin of every coin of the contribution carefully scrutinized and recorded. This organization will not be built upon corruption. Naturally, I would prefer not to rely upon outside sources at all, but even my family's substantial coffers cannot sustain a venture of this magnitude. And as for the rumors and doubts surrounding this enterprise, well, such things shall plague us until the company has had a chance to prove its worth. It will not be an easy process, but we will earn people's trust one success at a time. Speaking of time, we should waste no more of it. Let us return to the Rising Stones and lay the first stone for united Eorzea. Oh, I don't have to do anything. Peaceful.
Tell me, General, what think you of Alfino's bold endeavor?
I think it is more than bold, Your Grace. His organization would pave the way for a united Eorzea. Well do I understand his impatience, since facing the common threat of the Ultima weapon, our nations have seemed farther apart, not closer together. Considering the many problems we face, should we not be glad that someone else is taking the initiative?
We have all pledged our cooperation, yet the grumbling continues behind closed doors. Ul'dah is not alone in her duplicity. I myself have doubts as to the good this organization will achieve. With the inclusion of the finest soldiers of the 3 grand companies, it promises to be a fearsome military body. But whom will it serve? Even under the watchful gaze of the Scions, it is not unthinkable that such a force could perpetrate a great wrong. Does it not concern you that a significant proportion of its financial backing came from the coffers of the Syndicate? That those unprincipled worms might forge this extraordinary gathering of warriors into a private army?
I have trust in the Scions, Your Grace. They have spared us no end of trouble at the hands of the Primals. If they seek reinforcements, I deem it unwise to deny them. As for their finances, full many gave generously. And though our nobles proffered a sizable sum, their coin did not spill from the pockets of Lolorito and his cronies. And what of the presence of our stalwart adventurer friend in this endeavor? I doubt the Warrior of Light would betray our cause.
Yes, there is that, I suppose. Yet I have known people to change. Whether we will or no, the events of the age hurl us this way and that, like a dust devil skipping across the sands. Cannot be done about Telechi?
I have explored all avenues available to us, Your Grace. But as Ul'dah law now stands, we lack the evidence to convict him of any crime. To arrest him on spurious grounds would only play into his hands.
He has all but committed treason, and yet we can do nothing? Then what good our government? What worth the royal house? How deplorable this mockery of justice!
Have faith, Your Grace. It is not over.
Ah, sweet. Found another reason not to like roller coasters. Ah, that is not a journey I soon wish to repeat. But I cannot pause to rest. The culmination of all our effort is at hand. I must see to the preparations of the inaugural ceremony. Thank you for allowing me to monopolize your services, Fadewind. I'm certain the antecedent will be relieved to see you free of other duties. For other duties. Greetings. Alphino tells me all is in place to begin his trial company. The Scions shall certainly be grateful to have the support of such an organization. The inaugural ceremony is set to take place here at the Rising Stones. Tataru is cooperating with Alphino to see that all is in readiness, but I'm afraid the recruits themselves have been left to their own devices for the time being. Quite a number of new faces have arrived from Revenant's Toll of late, and I wonder if Slothborn might not find himself overwhelmed. Would you speak with him and see if there's aught he requires? So I gotta go... What can I do for you, Fadewood? Thought you'd have your hands full helping out with the new arm of the Scions. Ah, I barely noticed your recruits arrive. Barely a trickle compared to the flood of treasure hunters we have passed through here every day. Well, I appreciate your offer on aid. It is more your burden that concerns me. I'm told this trial company will answer directly to the antecedent, so I trust that means less work for you in the long run. Slaffborn, the shipment. We couldn't... Gods, woman, what befell? We were bringing a shipment to Revenant's Toll, provisions earmarked for the frontier effort. But just as we sought to cross over into Mordana, we were set upon by brigands. I believe they may have been heretics. There were many, too many. We only escaped with our lives by abandoning the supplies. Pray forgive us. There's naught to forgive. Provisions can be replaced, but smart soldiers are hard to find. Take your rest and I'll have someone along to tend to those wounds. What to do? Heretics are involved, and this is like to be more than a simple case of thievery. Ishgard would need to be informed. Whence did these supplies originate? House Fortem. We collected the provisions from Camp Dragonhead proper. Understood. I shall see that they are apprised of this development. Baedwin, were you not on good terms with the Knights of House Fortem? I'll be sending them a missive immediately, of course, but I'll also have you travel there and offer your considerable talents. Yes, I realize I contradict my earlier hopes to lighten your load, but I need someone who can help bring this incident to a satisfactory conclusion. Our favorable relations with Ishgard are far too important to risk half measures. Thank you for your understanding. I'm certain Lord Harshval would be glad of your assistance. Oh well, if it isn't my fine friend, Fabian Fortunes. My friend, Fabian Fortunes. Almost regretting my name here. Would you care for a plate of roast caracul? Some mulled wine? No? Ah, I see you have not come to my hall merely to escape the biting cold. I was in fact on the verge of opening an urgent missive from Revenant's Toll, and I suspect the time of your arrival is no coincidence.
The incident with the new frontier hands? No, you need not elaborate. I have been following their progress with no small amount of interest. Brave men and women all. They do our nation a great service. The existence of a fortified outpost in Mordona will do much to dissuade the Empire from trespassing on Kurthus soil. Right glad am I that you have chosen to lend your support to this endeavor. Never let it be said that House Fortem does not acknowledge the efforts of her allies, or her debts. 'Twas in the spirit of gratitude that I arranged for sundry supplies to be delivered to Revenant's Toll. That the shipment should chance to be waylaid by heretics is poor fortune indeed. Poor fortune, I say, yet not without precedent. If you would know the truth of it, these incorrigible villains grow more organized with each passing day. This new unity of purpose we attribute to their leader, the Lady Iceheart. But though I have devoted significant resources to the task of identifying this woman, we have yet to learn so much as her birth name. What we do know is that the heretics speak of Iceheart in reverent tones, and would gladly embrace death rather than betray her. Such loyalty is rare indeed, and I fear to imagine what so committed a collective might achieve. The brigands have not yet been so brazen as to risk direct confrontation here in Dragonhead. Some few of their number have, however, been sighted not far to the west of here, and with ever-increasing regularity. A visit to Whitebrim Front may bring you the answers you seek. Will you brave the snows, knowing what implacable foes may lie in wait?
Don't you make me nod.
Alone's blessings be upon you. Though I take no pride in the admission, many of mine own countrymen are not so well suited as you adventurers to dealing with such foes. Were they dragons, it might be otherwise. But truly, I could not wish for a finer ally. You have done much for my house in the past, and I have no doubt but that I shall have cause to celebrate your deeds again ere long. Should you learn aught of value, pray return to me forthwith. A warm hearth and a warmer welcome shall be waiting for you.
Baedwin, is there aught you would ask of me? Pray speak plainly. I am a man of action and need no honeyed words. The trail of a band of thieving heretics, you say, by the Fury, but do you seem destined to cross paths with those villains? I must confess, then, 'tis a sad truth that the wilds hereabout have indeed grown thick with their number. They strike swiftly, without warning, and are canny enough to evade our most able trackers. Not merely the newfound organization that confounds us, the heretics themselves seem somehow changed. I know not what manner of influence this ice heart wields, but the men we face seem utterly lost in the grip of righteous fervor. It is an unsettling and unnatural zeal. Mayhap you would care to question one of the recent victims. As fate would have it, your rival came moments after a trader was waylaid on the road. The patrol found the unfortunate fellow lying senseless in the snow, and carried him to our infirmary. Assuming he has regained the use of his faculties, the merchant might recall some small detail that could aid you in your task. Tell you what happened? Why, yes, of course. I'm quite recovered enough for that. Anything to help catch those cowardly blackguards. I was traveling my usual route to White Room Front. Suddenly, a sudden blow sent me reeling. Next thing I knew, I was on the ground, and several heretics were rifling through my cargo. Arms, armor, crystals. They were taking everything. It was then that one of them noticed my bleary gaze, and stalked over to better acquaint my head with his mace. Before darkness claimed me, however, I distinctly heard the words, "Return to Snowcloak." I dare say that is where they were hauling my goods. But you'll not catch me rushing off in pursuit. They tell me 'twas a miracle I survived it all, and I'll not trust my thick skull to save me a second time, like them back in the game. The snow crunches under the tread of heavy boots. Get him, Chocobo! Gah, draw your weapon, foul. Wait, I recognize you, adventurer. Here it comes seeking heretics. And we share a common purpose. We were on patrol when we chanced across one of their raiding parties and pursued them here. By rights, we should have had them cornered in this ravine. And yet, they are gone. Vanished like icy wraiths. A glimpse of a woman atop the cliff? Could it be Iceheart herself come to sneer at our folly? And to where did she disappear? The heretics must have discovered a passage through the frozen wall, some hidden tunnel that escaped our notice. We've not the men to risk further investigation. It would be best were we to return to White Room Front and lay our suspicions before Lord Dreamall. When it appears I owe you my thanks once again. Surviving knights spare no detail in their report. The men you found out near Snowcloak were some of my finest, but they should be bested so handily. Here I woefully underestimated the threat these heretics pose. While I understand you might balk at the notion, I must ask that you put aside your mission and consider the stolen provisions lost to us for now. But you'll advise to blunder unprepared into what may well be the very lair of our enemy. We return to Dragonhead and inform Lord Harshfall of your discoveries. He'll wish plan contingencies of his own. As for Iceheart and their fanatics, freezing heights of Snowcloak will not shield them from our justice for long. Ooh, nice.
Your return is most timely. Of their own accord, my thoughts had turned to your task and the progress thereof. I confess, my imaginings tended toward the grim and bloody. But you are here now, and I suspect such frivolous wonderings do little justice to the reality of your travails. Tell me, what did you learn of Iceheart? Indeed, and this transpired at Snowcloak? Of all the highlands, that towering wall has borne the worst of the region's brutal shift in climate. So inhospitable has Snowcloak become that we have still to survey the area in its entirety. Could its frozen heights conceal the heretics' hideaway? Mayhap a more robust reconnaissance effort is in order. Putting such considerations aside for the moment, we still know far too little of this Iceheart. That she is capable of commanding such a band of fanatics bespeaks natural authority, and no small measure of charisma. As much as I would like to fathom this mystery with you, the situation has grown beyond my personal purview. I am bound by duty to inform the Temple Knights and request that they bring this matter to its conclusion. Given the glowing reports the new commander has garnered thus far, I am certain that they can be relied upon to take appropriate action. Though Iceheart's true identity yet eludes us, you have provided us with a point from which to begin. Sometimes it takes but a single stone to prompt an avalanche. On the matter of the stolen provisions, I have already made arrangements for a second shipment to be sent to Revenant's Toll. I could not well allow such an honorable venture to be undermined by one miserable setback.
Baywind, it is good to see you return to the Toll. How fared you in the frozen wastes of Kurthus? House Fort Thomas to send us a second shipment? I must send thanks to Lord Harshfall and his continued generosity. Even as our town grows in prosperity, I fear it will attract even ever greater numbers of those who would do us harm in the name of greed and power. All of us, Alphanos and new recruits included, must remain vigilant against such threats. While you were away in Kurthus, preparations for the inaugural ceremony were all but completed, although Tatru does yet seem somewhat flustered. I've taken enough of your time. Why don't you head into the Rising Stones and see if your frantic receptionist could do with a hand? These parchments need to be sorted, and these documents, why are they even here? Oh, I'm sorely tempted to file the lot in my waste paper basket. Ah, Faedwin, you startled me. You wish to lend a hand? Splendid. Would you be a dear and hand these uniforms to the new recruits? They're scattered about Revenant's Toll, and I haven't the time to track them all down. The recruits know to don their garb immediately and assemble here in the Rising Stones. You want to report directly back to Alphino if you don't wish to miss the ceremony. I wonder if the Scions will even have matching uniforms. A well-funded organization is a well-dressed organization, I suppose. I know I was going to have to round them up. Oh my god! Where did all these people come from? Those who believe this company will see no riches are short-sighted fools. Giving of oneself 'tis an investment in the future. Thus did I sign my name to the cause. Here's a uniform, ultramarine. These uniforms were a splendid idea. Once the organization has made a name for itself, there should be wealth and plenty in selling replica costumes to the adoring masses. This person's already thinking of merch. Nice. Where are you? There you are. I thought it best to mimic my fellows here, but I admit that I have no idea what we're supposed to be doing. Ah, our new uniforms. I remind of my induction to the Wood Whalers. Okay, this was the wrong way. Very sorry. Scarlet Guard marks me a proud member of the Maelstrom, and a hardy defender of Limbs Laminsa. Yet in truth I stand for the betterment of the realm, and thought this new company a fine opportunity to contribute on a grander scale. Oh, now that's a striking shade of blue. But alongside my Maelstrom uniform, my wardrobe was certainly not lacking color. I don't believe we met. I'm Ilbert, and we have the honor of leading my fellow recruits as captain. Much did I lose the calamity, and I look forward to aiding others in rebuilding their lives. Uniforms are a shrewd decision. There's no easier method of creating a common bond among what is essentially a band of strangers. That moment you try to animation cancel Little El Amigo could learn much from Revenant's Toll. This town can be so alive in the midst of such desolation. I've never worn out quite so voluminous. Luminous. I'm sure I'll grow accustomed to the extra cloth in time. Fabled fortunes, gods, I'm not expecting to meet you strolling about town. The tales of your primal battles were what inspired me to come to Revenant's Toll. It is an honor to receive this uniform from your hands. I shall wear it with pride. Hello there, lass. Looking for me, was ya? I was just giving a whistle, but I'm not sure I'd hear it among all the bustle. Oh, proper uniforms and all. This thing will cut off the blood to my head. Not to worry, though. I'm sure she'll be fine after making a few adjustments. Ilzdar has at last retired from the adventurous life. Though I shall miss his wisdom and irrepressible spirit, I'm excited to forge my own path forwards. Ah, yes, the uniform. Thank you. Truth be told, the thought of pledging myself to such a lofty organization is somewhat intimidating. Tataru mentioned you were handing out the uniforms. I assume you've now met the rest of the recruits. Some few answered the call to arms I put forth through the established grand companies and such. We're not yet an army, but there is such a small corps of elite warriors can achieve. Much, rather. Did I mention I thought of a name for the company? It is my hope that it shall soon be known across the breadth of Eorzea. Professor Bitch. Professor Ruby Sapphire's name Birch. Gonna call him Professor. Okay. The moment of truth draws near, Faedwin. Once the last of the recruits have gathered, I shall make the official announcement.
Comrades, your presence here this day signifies the momentous choice that each of you has made. With your strength now pledged to the scions of the Seventh Dawn, you are beholden to no single nation. You stand as the vanguard for a united Eorzea. From this moment forth, I declare you Crystal Braves. Let us mend this fractured realm and face our enemies as one. Whether it be the Beastmen and their primals, or the conflict in Carteneau, it is plain that the nations of Eorzea cannot solve the problems which plague the realm. Thus does it fall to some few heroic souls to succeed where they have failed. Come, take your place at the Scion's side as guardians of Eorzea, and together we shall fight for the freedom of all! For the freedom of all!
A rousing speech, Alphino. Or should I say, Crystal Brave Commander Leveilleur?
Please, Antecedent. The title is honorary. I shall not be leading the troops into battle, as it were. We are of the same purpose. Let us join hands and do what must be done to save this land.
The Scions stand ready.
Okay, so we're Crystal Braves now. Finnegan Mamoswine and Latios? Oh. That's an interesting start.
I'm eager to see what the Crystal Braves might accomplish. This shall prove an interesting time indeed for the Scions. Yes, I'm listening. So our worst fears are confirmed. The entire Isle. Such power defies comprehension. Truly? Kryl is alive? Thank the 12. I see. Pray, inform me if her condition changes. Yes, I shall pass on your words to Eorzea. My thanks. I shall contact you anon. When I learned of the loss of the Isle of Val, I dared not hope that my friend had survived. Yet, by some miracle, it would seem she has. She's still to regain consciousness, it is true, but better that than death. Putting this happy news to one side, we must now endeavor to make sense of the readings taken by the survey party. It appears the etheric disturbance which accompanied the Isle's destruction is of a magnitude alarmingly close to that of Ultima. Could the Ascians be responsible for this devastation as well? I wonder, have you heard aught from the Mother Crystal since the battle with the Garleans? Then she speaks to neither one of us. Heidelin silence portends naught but ill, I fear. Louisoix, I pray you yet watch over us.
4 sets of starts to pick from. Oh, is that an upgrade? A-star circlet, even star hat.
Are you winning, son?
I think so, Hybrid. How are you doing? Classic Hybrid. Very good. See that the provisions are prepared for transport. Let us hope this shipment is spared the fate of the last. Winds are uncommon fierce this day. I was thinking about doing that tomorrow, actually. I think tomorrow during the day I'm going to start it. Tears of the Kingdom. Which makes me, I think, the last person on Twitch to begin playing. Oh, second to last. Confront the Ultima weapon. Oh, okay. It's like, wait a second.
Ta-da!
You also haven't started? Oh. There's a group of us. Try as I might, I cannot shake a creeping sense of dark foreboding, but it avails us not to fret about the unknown. We must concentrate instead on the problems of the present. The primals have been relatively quiet of late, and the beast tribes who summon them are under constant surveillance by the grand companies. If any suspicious activity be afoot, you may be certain we will hear of it. Until such time as a permanent solution to the primal problem has been found, we can do little but wait and observe. For the Ascians, Eorzea is wholly dedicated to finding the means by which we may defeat the dark beings. Just pray for good tidings on that front. But all this you knew already. Let us speak of more current matters, in particular, the state of the Crystal Braves. Alphino did well to found the organization, but ensuring its smooth operation is another matter entirely. Though I doubt not that he is doing his best. I felt a helping hand or two would not go astray. To this end I offered to send one of the Archons to assist him, but he declined. You know how he can be. Independent to a fault. Independent since when? I've been running all around town since I started for that dude. Singularly loath to accept help. My ass. We're talking about the same Alphino, right? Bullshit. Save, of course, when that help comes from you. Okay. Alphino has entrusted countless matters of import to your care in the past, and I believe he would not hesitate to do so again, were you to offer. Well, then he's gonna be waiting! As no. I should be most grateful if you would go to him and support him in whatever manner you're able.